Hi guys, PrinceofMacedon here, doing a Napoleon Total War online battle. This is the France versus Prussia battle. I command the French, and my opponent is SW Armageddon Colonel in command of the Prussians. We are going to look at my French army first. Here I made some slight variations to my last army. I still have my skirmishers, and I still have my my fusiliers as the main part of my heavy infantry. And I still have an Imperial Guard unit back here. Well, this is the Old Guard, and they're still playing the same tune. And instead of bringing Napoleon, I brought a General Staff unit so I could afford more units. So that's my General Staff. And I still have 2 squadrons of Cuirassiers, and they flank my General unit. And here's a close-up of their sweet-looking armor, very nice. And I also brought 2 squadrons of Lancers this time. And this one right here, this is the elite 7th Lancers unit. They are the Polish Lancers, and they fought for Napoleon. And on the other side, I have 1 squadron of these regular Lancers. As for the 7th Lancers unit, you can only buy 1 of them, and you can only get them with the Imperial or the limited edition of this game. But I brought 1 of those guys because I wanted to see him. Oh, I also have 1 team of Howitzers, and it's right there leading the way. Alright, so let's go look at my opponent's Prussian army. My opponent went for a very high quality army.
Sir, our general is under attack.
That's nice. And then he has 4 squadrons of Cuirassiers. So he went for pure heavy cavalry for his cavalry component. And let's go look at his artillery. He has 3 teams of the 6-pounders right there, and they're already blasting at my guys. It's very devastating. Alright, let's go look at the rest of my opponent's army. He has 3 units of grenadiers. There we go. Those guys can toss grenades. It's very devastating up close. Then he has 2 units of the guard units.
General has been killed.
And look at that, I lost my general already. That's gotta be the world's record for me losing my general. I haven't even started the battle yet. Too bad the Mayan calendar couldn't predict that for me. And right there is Count von Gneisenau. And in the front of his infantry, he has 4 units of the Silesian Schützen. Those are skirmisher units. And my opponent has the role of having only 4 max of a skirmish unit with a range of 125. So I only brought a few skirmishers myself. Alright, so I have my artillery setting up finally. Now I can respond to my opponent's artillery action. But I'm pretty much outgunned in artillery. But I do want to respond immediately. I don't want my opponent thinking he's going to destroy my army just like that. But he is cutting holes into my French army like Swiss cheese. And if you're lucky, maybe I'll show you some close-ups. Alright, so once again I was deployed in column, and now I'm going to redeploy into a line. And finally I'm able to respond to my opponent's artillery action. So yeah, bam! And bam. And my opponent thinks I'm targeting his general, so he's going to withdraw his general. Which is it's a very good idea, I guess. Better to be safe than sorry. Alright, so my opponent's artillery is cutting holes into my army, like I said. See that? That blew a little hole into that little piece right there. And it knocked, it's like 5 of my guys over, or 6. 4 of them got up, but 2 of them are staying down. Maybe 3 of them are staying down. But you can't stay still, you gotta keep moving. But my opponent's artillery is rocking my screen. And this is once again, this is the Grassy Flatlands map. This is a flat map and it's perfect for multiplayer usage, for balanced play anyways. You can still use the other maps, and they have some other new maps. They have like the Waterloo map, they have the Borodino map, which you've seen already, and they got a bunch of other maps on this. It's pretty sweet, and it's good that they have a diversity of maps this time. One for everybody, I think. Here's my skirmishers. They are getting ready for action. His guys are already shooting my guys, because his guys have a range of, I think it's 125 for the Silesian Schützen. That's why he's able to shoot my guys out of range of mine. Mine only have a range of 100. So that's one good thing about the Prussians and Austrians and some other factions, is that their skirmishers have a very nice range. Alright, I'm bringing up my fusiliers. I'm gonna scare his skirmishers away. I'm gonna force him to redeploy elsewhere. Also, you can see my opponent is withdrawing his artillery because he doesn't want his artillery to get shot at by my infantry. So he was very fast in redeploying his artillery. and he's also pretty fast in getting his skirmishers out of there. And there's my artillery. They make very good explosions. I'll probably reward them later. Alright. So my opponent is getting his army ready for the confrontation of the infantry lines. Over here on the right, this is where I have a cuirassier and a regular lancer unit. And on the other wing is where I have my elite Polish lancers. And here my opponent made a move with his 2 cuirassiers over here. And when I saw that, I decided to countercharge. And once again, this is where my elite lancers are, the Polish 7th lancers. There they are. And once again, an elite unit like this, you can only buy one of them, because once you buy one, then they're no longer an option. So I'm going to charge into these cuirassiers. And the good thing about these lancers is that they have a very good charge bonus. That's all lancers in general. But this one happens to be my 7th lancers. Very nice, prestigious unit. And you can see how those cuirassiers are started to rout. And one of his cuirassiers is pretty much eradicated running. And now the other one is starting to flee. And that's good because it frees up these set of horses here on my left wing. So now I can do some flank attacks on my opponent from the side. One thing is, I brought one of my units from the other wing, one of my horse units, so that weakened my right wing cav. Anyways, here is the confrontation of our infantry lines. And I'm starting to lose some units, and my general unit is no longer really important anymore because he already lost the general. So it's really not that inspiring to see him anymore. And right there's a little hole in my lines, and there's some skirmishers able to plug the gap. But over on the right, on the right, that's where I said I weakened my cavalry. So his cuirassiers here are wreaking havoc on my lines, and they managed to break the morale of my right flank. So that's why some of my guys are routing. Over back on the left, this is where I have my victorious cav, and I'm gonna charge and take his artillery from both sides. And you can see one of my horse units here. They were right next to his general unit. I could have made a pit stop like at 7-Eleven and killed his general, then got back on the highway, but I decided to forget his general and just go right for his artillery. And since these guys aren't unlimbered yet, that means my horses can take them out without any casualties for the most part. So here goes my Polish lancers. They're going to charge right into these guys. And these guys are pretty much defenseless right now. So yeah, I really wanted to take those guys out before they set up again, because those artillery are pretty devastating in concentrated numbers. Alright, so on the right, this is where the big contest is on the right, because here he was able to rout so many of my units. And those are my cuirassier. They're getting beaten up by his cuirassier. And luckily, my guys who were routing earlier, they stopped routing, and they're right behind my old guard. So I'm gonna bring up those guys as soon as I can, so we can join on this fight on the rest of the Prussian army. And I decided to take my cavalry from the left, and I'm going to bash in his skirmishers. So we're gonna charge into them. And this is behind Prussian lines, in case you're wondering where we are. You can also watch on the mini-map. If you ever get lost watching my videos, you can watch on the mini-map now. And at this point, my opponent took his cavalry from the other wing, and he's going to charge into my guys. So now we have this big cavalry fight. My guys are a bit tired, and they're kind of depleted now. So it's anyone's game right now for this cavalry fight. You can see my Polish lancer right there. But yeah, lots of mayhem. And all those guys, well, most of those guys are guards, so those are hard to beat. But luckily, I have an elite unit myself, and that's my old guard. And I'm going to take these guys, and I'm going to charge into his Prussian guards. So it's going to be a battle of the elites here. There's some explosions. Nice explosions. So we're going to bash in these guys. And although my guys are elite, I am going to throw in some backup just in case. I want to expedite the speed of this battle here. And so it's some nice elite action until my Fusiliers join in the action. Then it's some mediocrity join in the fight. And back here, this is where my cavalry fight was happening, but it looks like I'm down to 1 cavalry squadron. So my opponent was able to crash my cavalry. But luckily in this battle, I remembered to bring my cavalry. Usually, well, it seems like I've been forgetting to bring cavalry, and that's been kind of sucking, but I felt a lot more complete in this battle, because I actually had 4 squadrons of cavalry this time. Alright, my opponent's going to make a charge on my Fusiliers with his guards. But his guards here aren't going to last much longer. So you can see they're about to break. There aren't too many guards in that Prussian unit anymore. And they're routing. And my guys are going to chase after them. So pretty much all of his infantry is gone. What does he have left? He has... I think that was it. But it was a very good battle. And good game to my opponent. You can see the results. Good game.